Okay, you've probably seen it in movies, or at least heard people talking about it in tech forums. Kali Linux. It's got this reputation, right, as this kind of powerful, mysterious, maybe even dangerous tool. But what is it really, and who's it actually for? Well, let's break it all down.
So let's just get right to it and ask the question that's on everyone's mind. What is the world's most famous hacking OS? And yet, for a lot of people, the answer that pops into their head is Kali Linux. But here's the thing. Calling it a hacking OS doesn't just miss the details, it kind of misses the entire point.
The reality is, Kali Linux is the world's premier penetration testing distribution. It's a highly specialized platform that's built for cybersecurity professionals, the good guys. Think of them like digital doctors. They use this incredibly sophisticated set of tools to find the weaknesses in a system before a real threat does.
So to really get a handle on Kali, we need to look at its foundation. What's it built on? Who's behind it? And what is its real mission in the whole cybersecurity world?
Okay, so at its core, Kali is built on Debian, which is a rock-solid, super stable version of Linux. It's developed and maintained by a company called Offensive Security, a huge name in cybersecurity training. But here's the absolute most crucial point. Its purpose is singular: security testing. This is not, and I repeat, not an operating system for browsing the web or writing your emails. It is a precision instrument for a very, very specific job.
All right, so if Kali is such a specialized tool, what's actually inside its toolkit? Come on, let's open up this digital arsenal and see what makes it so incredibly powerful.
Over 600. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how many pre-installed, pre-configured security tools come with a standard installation of Kali. We're not talking about a handful of little utilities here. This is a massive, comprehensive library that's ready to go for pretty much any security task you could possibly imagine.
And this huge collection isn't just a random pile of software. No way. It is meticulously organized by function. You've got tools for reconnaissance. That's the detective work, mapping out a network. Then you have exploitation frameworks like Metasploit for actually testing vulnerabilities. And it even goes into super specialized areas like digital forensics and reverse engineering. Each one of these categories is a deep professional discipline all on its own.
For a long, long time, Kali was seen as a purely offensive tool, a platform for simulating attacks. But that's changing in a big way. Let's take a look at how the Kali ecosystem is expanding way beyond its traditional red team role. The team behind Kali actually calls this a significant paradigm shift. And you know what? That's not just marketing speak. It's exactly what it is, a fundamental change in how they're approaching things. Kali is no longer just about breaking things to see how they work. It's evolving.
So here's the difference in a nutshell. Traditional Kali, that's the red team, the ethical attackers who test defenses. The new Kali Purple, though, that is built for the blue team, the defenders. Their job isn't just finding holes, it's about responding to incidents and actively hunting for threats that are already inside a network. This is a huge shift from a specialized toolkit to a complete security operations hub.
And the adaptability of this ecosystem is just wow. You've got Kali NetHunter, which puts all this power right onto your Android phone for mobile security. There's Kali ARM for tiny computers like the Raspberry Pi, which is absolutely essential for testing all those smart home gadgets. And then you've got Kali Lite, which is optimized for when you need all that power, but you're working in a low-resource environment. It's pretty amazing.
Okay, so with all this power, who should actually be using Kali, and why? In this section, we're going to cover the practical reasons it's an industry standard, but also, and this is super important, the critical warnings that come with using such a potent tool.
For professionals, the advantages are just massive. Kali is basically a complete security lab in a box, ready to go. It saves literally hundreds of hours of setup. It's got this huge community for support, and it's modular, so you only install the tools you actually need. But maybe most importantly, knowing how to use Kali isn't just a nice little bonus on your resume anymore. It's become an expected and often required professional skill in the world of cybersecurity.
And now, we've arrived at the single most important takeaway for anyone who's curious about trying Kali. Let me say this as plainly as I can. It is not designed for everyday computing. Using it for your daily tasks, like checking email or browsing social media, can expose you to a ton of unnecessary risks because it's configured for security testing, not personal security.
So before you even think about jumping in, you got to remember 3 things. First, this is not a replacement for your daily operating system. Period. Second, its tools are designed to be loud.
That means security systems will detect them, which for a professional tester is the whole point. And third, just prepare yourself for a steep learning curve. Mastering this thing takes serious time and serious dedication.
So, finally, where does Kali go from here? I mean, cybersecurity is constantly changing, so let's take a look at how this platform is evolving to meet the threats of tomorrow.
What we're seeing right now is that shift to hybrid security, with Kali Purple bringing the red and blue teams together. What's next on the horizon? Well, a huge focus on cloud-native testing. Because let's face it, that's where all the modern infrastructure lives. And looking even further out, the future is probably going to be all about AI-enhanced operations, using machine learning to automate threat analysis and discovery.
So, the journey of Kali is pretty clear, right? It started out as this niche toolkit for a specific group of people, the penetration testers. And now it has evolved into this comprehensive platform that serves the entire cybersecurity community, from offense all the way to defense.
And that leaves us with this one fascinating final question to chew on. As those old walls between offensive and defensive security just crumble away, and we move to this more hybrid, integrated model, is Kali positioning itself to become the single, unified operating system for all of cybersecurity? It's a pretty powerful thought, and honestly, it's going to be exciting to watch it all unfold.